So how likely is it that Texas could be the next state to legalize pot? That's the front page talk this half hour. Joining us in our newsroom, we have our legal analyst, Chris Tridico, Fox 26 News analyst, Mustafa Tamiz, and public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. Good morning to y'all.
Good morning. All of a sudden, I was feeling hungry.
Is this, not surprising, is this much support surprising to you, though, in a red state like Texas, or do we have to take into account exactly who did the polling in this case?
Well, I think first you have to look at who did the poll, but second, what we were just talking about, you have to look at the demographics of what's going on. The people that were, started serious pot smoking in the 60s and the 70s are all grown up, and these are the people now that are saying, there's really nothing wrong with this. And so I think that's really where you're getting these polls that are saying it's okay to legalize marijuana, is because of the change that society has taken, with pot smoking having been so heavy for the last 40 or 50 years. But the question is it going to happen in Texas? I think the answer to that, Jackie Bally, is no.
Oh, no, that's not happening in Texas. And also, not only do we have to look at who released this poll, but the way the poll was given. I mean, the questions, as we know, any survey that you're given, you can have the questions tailored for the outcome that you want.
Result, right.
And some of the questions, they said somewhat supportive. So those who checked the box somewhat supportive, they're linking them with supportive. And who knows if those people really are strongly supportive of marijuana or the legalization of marijuana. But no, that's not happening anytime soon in Texas.
What are your thoughts, Mustafa? Is it something that the Texas legislature, well, they won't look at gambling, they won't look at a lot of things. I don't see them ever looking at legalizing marijuana.
It's not who did the survey, it's what they were smoking when they did the survey. Is the question. Look, this is very difficult to get through the Texas legislature, but this is an important topic, right? We are almost 19 million people in the United States smoke marijuana. We jail more people in this country. We jail 25% of the world's population that are incarcerated. We have 5% of the population, 2.3 million people are in jails today. We have to find a way that we're able to administer our laws that don't cost the taxpayers so much money that we're imprisoning so many people behind bars.
And there's a lot of people, Jackie Bally, that say, smoking marijuana is no worse than drinking, and why shouldn't we be allowed to do it?
But there are a lot of people who say the counter, that it's a gateway to heavier and more extensive drugs, and as we saw in that report, the way some people react to smoking marijuana, it could be an impediment to society. So I think there's a reason why it is illegal. I definitely think we need to keep it illegal. As far as the points that Mustafa was making, if we want to look at how we penalize or how we punish people who are smoking, that's another issue. And as far as management and keeping our numbers down in jail. But as far as turning over a law and making it legal just because of that one fact, I don't agree with.
And it's been, let me run to Sally, but it's been decriminalized pretty extensively in Texas. Sally, the possession of personal use, under 2 ounces, is a Class B misdemeanor, just about as low as it can get right now.
Mm-hmm. You can still get up to a year in jail, though, right?
Only if you have more than 2 ounces.
More than 2 ounces. Okay. Well, we're checking social media as we always do. We like you to weigh in on the topics that we discuss here on Sunday morning. Liz says, legalize it. There's so many more benefits than all the money we spend trying to control it. Beth says, do not legalize pot. It's a gateway drug that leads to nothing good. Do you think that there is a Republican argument to legalizing it, though? Maybe Jackie wants to weigh in on this, that it could help the economy?
Well, the only way I can see conservatives or Republicans ever really supporting something like this is if we have control of how much we tax the people who want to use it, or what we do with those dollars, as far as maybe going towards infrastructure, going towards other projects that we want to have funded. That's the only reason why I can see any conservative or Republican supporting this, as long as we have more control.
It's still not going to happen.
I don't see this ever going anywhere in the legislature.
This idea that this is a gateway drug, Mustafa, I have never seen anything other than people say that, any really studies that prove that.
Well, I mean, when you have 19 million people in the United States smoking marijuana, the 2/3 of the people that have done drugs, have smoked marijuana. Those are the things that people point to, but there's nothing that links the fact of smoking marijuana leads to drug use. But I like to make the Republican argument, because I think Republicans tend to listen to me very carefully when I speak. Look, there's a Harvard study that shows that we spend anywhere between $10 to $14 billion in regulating marijuana, and what it costs us to put people in prison. If we were able to tax that, we may make $3 or $4 billion. So you're talking about a $20 million
swing
in government.
And Jackie Bally would even have to pay attention to that. We're going to have to leave it right there, Sally. We'll be back in a few minutes after we eat our Funyuns.
What are you eating out there today? I didn't get any food yet.
Well, this is because of the marijuana talk. We were all feeling a little bit munched out.
My goodness.
For some reason, Raymond understands this very carefully. He brought this to us.
Our photographer, Raymond Ramirez, always helping us out. Okay, thanks, guys. We'll see you in our next half hour.
All right.